Internet, good morning. My name is Magnitude, aka Steve, and welcome back to Steve on Sunday. My name's Steve. It's Sunday. There's alliteration in the name. The internet loves alliteration. Thank you all for coming back to my weekly podcast spot. I don't have a lot of time in my life to do a podcast. I have a desire to do a podcast, so I use this time to do a podcast. It's kind of me talking about my thoughts, the week that was, the week that is, the week that will be, and other various things that are going on in my life. If you guys do me a favor and answer the question of the day on the screen, at the end of next week's video, I will have the answer that I'm not saying the best answer, but just kind of the answer that I either resonated with the most or an answer that I liked a lot. So go ahead and do that if you want to be featured on this. Leave a like in the videos if you enjoy them, and if you want to become a Patreon of mine, every Patreon, even $1 a month or more, they get a card in the mail. I sign like Pokemon cards or write dumb shit on there, demotivating stuff on there, and then at the end of the month, or over the course of the month, you guys will get one in the mail if you so choose to leave your address. So you can go ahead and do that. If not, but let's talk about kind of what's going on. So if those who follow me on Twitter, maybe you don't follow me on Twitter, I don't know, but I talk about this every single week. So there's always new people here. So it's like my passion. So I talk about all the time about my mobile development stuff. So, as just a little update as far as Nimble Nimbus, the game that I'm currently developing, goes. I'm waiting just for the art to come out. Once I get some updated art, I'm going to be releasing it to the App Store as like a beta. Just to reiterate again for everybody, Nimble Nimbus was never meant to be a full game. It might end up being a full game, but it was meant to be kind of just a foray of mine into Unity, the mobile engine that I'm going to be using. And so it's kind of taught me some stuff about saving using player prefs, and pretty much it's taught me the Unity engine, and it's turned into kind of a fun game. I'll be adding maybe a few more enemies over the course of it, because right now it's an infinite shooter. So I'm going to be releasing it as an infinite shooter, and it's going to be an infinite shooter with a heavy emphasis on user feedback. And there will be a GoFundMe attached to it as well, and the GoFundMe will go to be... So if the GoFundMe makes a significant amount of money, not significant. I don't know what significant is, but if it makes a solid portion of the goal, I've set the goal for $5,000. But let's relax. I'm obviously tempering that expectation, but I'm just trying to talk about what's going on with that. If that makes near that amount, I'll have enough to pay people an adequate amount of money to do art for the game, so I can kind of make a full-time version of it, and then I can make a full game. But for now, it's going to be an infinite shooter with a few different enemies and 2 different weapons. And the goal is just to stay alive as long as possible, get the highest score. Every interval, a mini boss spawns. I'm still deciding if I want to have the big main boss spawn. I might just put him in the sandbox mode. 'Cause I have a little sandbox mode as well, where players can go and just kind of select an enemy and weapons and just kind of see, and just kind of do that. So that's just just kind of get a feel of the game without actually playing it. But that's all going to be in the app, and so that's going to be released. I'm like notorious for not finishing projects that I start, so I want to be very clear about Nimble Nimbus, that it is essentially done. I'm just waiting for the updated art and the GUI elements that I'm going to be getting, and releasing it to the App Store. And then heavy emphasis on user feedback, things you guys want to see, things you guys want me to change, things you guys want me to add, stuff like that. And like I said, if it gets a solid amount of funding, I will have no problem at all making it into a full game, and then we can go from there. But the project that I've been, why I wanted to do game development in the first place. So I have this dream, right? This giant dream that I want to create. I'm going to say my version of the Marvel Universe, but not exactly with superheroes. So I want to create like an all-encompassing fictional universe and in that I do also enjoy writing. Okay, so I want to write a book series, and I want to combine that book series with both a video game and a card game. So this video game is kind of the first version of that, the first entrance into that into the world there. So this has been the dream of mine for a while, and I pretty much did Nimble Nimbus to get myself to learn how to make Unity. Learn how to do things in Unity, and then I'll be making this game here. So the game I'm going to be opening with, it's going to be a tower defense monster-based RPG. So it's going to be less. I was taking a lot of elements from Pokemon, because they have like the staple on what monster-based games do, and they're really great as far as damage goes, and they have the IVs and stuff like that. So I'm taking a lot of elements from that, but I'm also taking a lot of tower defense elements, because it is a tower defense game, and then I'm taking other elements as well from other games that I've played, and just things that I want to do. So it's going to be a tower defense RPG. So it's going to be a monster collecting tower defense RPG. So you're going to be getting monsters and leveling them up. They're going to act as your towers. And I'm going to have a high emphasis. One of the first things I want to do on release also is have an AI, like, quote-unquote trainer battle. So it's not only just AI, or not only just tower defense you're doing. You can also go in and fight, higher level trainers that are AI, and they can give you weapons or they can give you items and upgrades and stuff like that. So that's something that's important to me. So I got to learn AI, and then eventually I want to have online PvP. So I got to make. There's a lot of stuff going to be involved in this, and I get that. And I know a lot of times, most times in my life, I kind of, I kind of bite off more than I can chew. But I got some people that I think are going to be good and supportive of me. And if you guys want to be a part of that, if you have ideas, if you know a little Unity, if you want to learn Unity, message me on Twitter or Facebook or something message me on Twitter or even comment below, and I'll give you the Discord link for the channel. But it's going to be a lot of work. It is, and I know that. But it's been like a dream of mine, and I can actually see it happening now because I've used Unity and I've made. I think I have a very. I have a solid aspect on the beginning stages of Unity. I know how to do certain things. I know how to add certain things. There's still obviously a lot that I don't know and a lot I have to learn. That's part of the process. But this is kind of like the first dream of mine. And then from there, I want to make a card game. And from there, we'll write some books. So, but we'll temper all that down the road. But that's what's going to be happening. It's going to be. So if you want to follow my mobile development Twitter, it's going to be. I'm not dead right now, but I'm literally just waiting for Nimble Nimbus stuff to the images and graphics to be done, and then once that's done, I'll be able to I'll release that game. So like I said, I'll probably add maybe 2 or 3 more enemies, just so it's a little more variation in the game. It doesn't get as stale. Got to add them to the sandbox mode as well, but that's pretty easy to add to the sandbox mode. And so I will be I'll be doing that. I'll be updating those. I'll be making that happen. And I'm excited to release that, and I'll probably take some time to figure out how to get. Cause I don't know if I want to have the big main boss in that game, only because in that version, only because I don't know if because it's an infinite shooter. I don't know if I want to put something that I want the goal to be getting as high score as possible, not overcoming as many challenges as possible. You know what I mean? So I want to be challenging in the regards of just there's an infinite wave of enemies and then challenge getting as high as you can. Maybe not the boss. So I have this. If you guys follow my game Twitter before, you would have seen that I had this like Zeppelin boss that did a lot of stuff. It had a shield that went out. It kind of rammed you. It had this giant laser. I don't want to waste that, but I also want to implement it in the right way. So I'll have to figure out kind of what I want to do with that. I talk about my mobile development almost all the time on these videos. I hope you guys aren't bored of it. It's just the most exciting thing in the world to me. But I want to talk about maybe something else in the mobile world, I suppose. So I might be getting a new job. So for those unaware, I own a business with my wife, and I work full time. My wife does not work because she was in a car accident, and she's got a back and spine injury, so she doesn't work because she can't. And we're currently, it's like year 1 of probably 4 of trying to get unemployment. Did I just do the same? No, I didn't. Okay. It's year 1 of like 4 of unemployment. Or year 1 of 4 of our fight of unemployment. So it's going to be a while. So and this is a slow season for the business that we had because we do a children's entertainment business, and it's just in New England. So in the spring and summer and fall, we have a lot of parties outside. People have the space, but there are majority of people who maybe don't want to invite another character into their party, into their house, and they got a smaller house. So it is slower in the wintertime. And I work full time right now as a retail manager. But for those following, money's been tight, man. Running out of money. I put away a lot of money for when my wife wasn't working, and she's been out of work now for about 15 months. So starting to run out of money. I say that kind of tongue in cheek. It's just things are a lot tighter now than they that's what she said, than they were before. So I have to just be more conscious about things that I buy and stuff like that. So I'm not running out of money. We're just we have to really cut back on the spending that I'm doing. So. And that's that's not a problem. It's just when I'm trying to use my free time now to make games, it kind of cuts away from family time, which I know the wife isn't appreciative of, and I'm not appreciative either. I'm just trying to make some ends meet a little better. So, I'm doing some extra online work to try to make some extra cash. So the retirement fund also is very important to me, so I want to make sure I put money away into that. But so last week a customer. He's a regular customer. He comes in and he's buying like another entire fuel system for a car. So he just bought an entire like fuel tank, straps, fuel pump, all that stuff for like a '97 Ford, and then he just did it again for like an '07 Subaru. So finally, and he's a regular customer, so he's not buying that much stuff, obviously. But him and his wife come in a lot, and they buy a lot of parts for their cars. And I finally asked him, I'm like, what do you do that you have enough, time and money to do what you're doing here? Because he's, spending a lot of money he's spending a lot of money every month on vehicles, fixing vehicles and whatnot. And he's got the time to do it, and he's got the money to do it, so he's got to be doing something right. So he's like, I am a manager of an IT company. And I was like, oh, are you now? And so, what kind of company do you manage? He goes, well, actually, it's like an umbrella. I'm part of the umbrella management. We have companies underneath us, like programming companies underneath us, and IT companies underneath us, and I manage those. I was like, are you guys hiring? And he's like, he's like, you look for like contract work? I was like, no, it's for contract work. On the plus side, contract work can net you more dollars per hour, but it's not guaranteed money after the contract. And you might not get benefits. And any benefits, definitely need health insurance for my wife because of her back and her neck. So that's very important to me as well. So he said he would, he told me to send him over my resume. So I did. And then the next night, this is last week. And the next night he came back and we talked about changes to make my resume and, and what I can, pretty much changes to make my resume to make me more appealing to potential candidates, and he helped me a lot. So I changed my resume, told me to get a LinkedIn profile, or told me to update it, so I did. And he said he's gonna send over my resume to. He had one branch of his that are looking for a full-time junior developer, and I'm like, I want to do that. He's like, all right, I'll send over your resume. I'll get you in contact with the CEO and their recruiter, or the owner and the recruiter. I don't know if it's the CEO. I don't know I don't know the umbrella, the companies that he managed. I don't know what their titles are. But he's like, I'll get you in touch with the owner and the recruiter, or I'll send over the resume to the owner and the recruiter, and I'll have them be in touch with you. So I fixed up my resume the way he wanted me to, and he sent over to the recruiter and the owner, and he told me actually a couple days ago to expect a phone call about setting up an interview this week. So that's exciting. There was a time in my life where I was up for a GM position at work, and I turned it down because I didn't want. I don't want retail management to be my life. I'm sure the money would have been nice. I think I talked about it before. Well, this is actually before that first promotion I did. They had an opportunity to not to become. I don't want to embellish. Not to become a GM, but I had an opportunity to pretty much be on the track to be a GM. And I turned it down because I don't want retail management to be my life. Retail management, I think, sucks so bad. Retail employees are almost all the worst. So many times you hear about people like how many if you're like my age, how many memes on Facebook do you see of like people my age talking about like their retail working jobs and how they want to call out of their jobs and how they don't want to go to their retail job. I'm like, I don't want to be in charge of that because I'll never have days off. That'll be my life. I'll be having to cover for people if they just decide they don't want to work that day, and I'm responsible. So I don't want to do that. I want to do coding. I want to do programming. And he said if I interview well, they have no problem putting me on board, and I could be making between 55 and 60 grand a year, which would be nice, seeing as I haven't gone to college in many years. And he said, that's fine. It's fine that you haven't been there in many years. Just talk about what you're doing. He said the fact that I'm mobile developing is a plus, and the fact that I can talk about it is a plus. But so I'm excited for that. But guys, look, this has been another episode of Steve on Sunday. That's been my life, what I'm doing. Hope you guys enjoy these videos. I hope that you come back for more. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more. Check me out on Twitter, and maybe check out my t-shirt shop. Become a patron if you'd like. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I just said that. Rate, comment, sub, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.